Hello everyone. Today I'd want to share my story with you. My wife and I have been married for around 5 years. I come from a well-off family and was working as a director at a reputable firm when I met my wife, who was working as a receptionist in the same place. I first met her at a company's annual dinner party. She was dressed in a black gown with red heels and jewelry. She attracted my attention with her confident smile. We made eye contact, I went to her seat, and we had a nice conversation, and this is how our story started. We started meeting during lunch breaks. We went on a few dates before I introduced her to my friends, after which we got married. She successfully climbed the corporate ladder with the support of my references and was promoted to assistant brand manager at a new company, a well-known U.S. corporation led by my closest friend, Jackie. Jackie and I have known each other since high school. Jackie, who is quite shy and introverted, is engaged to my younger sister. They first met at a family dinner. To me, Jackie is like a brother because he used to attend every family gathering, including Thanksgiving and Christmas feasts. He used to visit my home every day before we got married, but once we were married, we didn't have as much time to go out and have dinners. However, we were always willing to lend a hand to one another, whether it was a favor to hire my wife Ashley, my wife, or any other work-related matter. He never said no to anything to me or vice versa. I just knew that my sister is content with him and that they will soon get married. And I was happy that my wife was employed by his company. Jackie would occasionally invite us on a double date. My wife adored Jackie and my sister as a couple. We liked each other's company, and Jackie and Ashley were a great addition to our family. My sister and I were delighted. My wife kept buying gifts for my sister and Jackie in order to get closer to them. She would spend thousands of dollars on them, which I didn't mind because after all, she was spending money on my sister and a friend. She stated that she needed to impress Jackie because he was also his boss. I assured her that she didn't have to be concerned about her boss because her boss Jackie was my best friend, but she was anxious to please him. So she continued to buy expensive gifts for Jackie and my sister. One day my wife informed me last month that she would be traveling for a week on a business trip. I was thrilled for her because I have always supported her professional growth. I had to travel to another city for a conference, so I haven't had a chance to speak to my wife for the past 3 days. Whenever I phoned, she was usually preoccupied in some way. And I didn't want to interrupt her when she was working. Because it was only for a one-day conference, I decided not to tell her when I was traveling for a meeting in another city. My flight was at 6 a.m., I got to the hotel at 10:00 a.m., and as I knew we all had a big day ahead of us, I chose to eat breakfast in the lodge area before checking into my room. I got myself some croissants when I first entered the buffet area, made a large cup of coffee, and grabbed a newspaper to read before turning around to find a quiet corner seat. It was really difficult for me to believe what I saw when I noticed my wife Ashley eating breakfast with Jackie while dressed in a bathrobe. Despite the fact that every time I asked my wife about Jackie, she always said, "Your friend is very rude and thinks very highly of him, so I prefer not to connect with him." I calmed myself down and decided that I may be overreacting and that they must be getting ready for a big meeting. I was a little taken aback to see my wife sitting with Jackie and wearing a bathrobe. Obviously, something was wrong. It was the worst decision of my life that I made to sit and watch them. I observed them grinning, laughing, holding hands all the time, sharing, and feeding one another, and after breakfast, they shared a kiss. My coworkers had just joined me for the meeting. It was quite awkward for me because everyone knew Ashley and knew that she was my wife and that she was sitting with a new person. I left the meeting and I asked for information from the front desk of the hotel, and when they told me that Jackie and Ashley had been staying in the same room, I was horrified. I hurried over to my sister's place to tell her the whole story. She was devastated by the news because she was in love with Jackie. I immediately called a lawyer to have divorce papers served on my wife. The next day, I sent the divorce papers to my wife. She arrived at the house to grab her things, but I didn't let her. She didn't have any money because after receiving an engagement ring from my sister, Jackie terminated Ashley from her job because it was a trap from my wife, and Jackie was still in love with my sister, according to him, being the largest investor in the company. I stopped providing finance to Jackie's business, so it was in trouble and he had to lay off employees, leaving no room for Ashley in the company. We all know how difficult it is to find a job in New York City. Therefore she is still jobless and looking for a job, but given her expertise in seducing men for financial gain, I am confident that she will soon capture another wealthy man. I still miss her, though I've moved on and am enjoying my life. I lost my best friend and my wife, but I don't need anybody betraying me behind my back. I realize now that Ashley is the kind of woman who is attracted to three qualities in a man: decent looks, good standing, and money. I've come to the realization that Ashley loved money more than she loved me. Some people marry for financial gain. Some people divorce for love. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. Strive to be happy and safe.